The John Hughes classic, The Breakfast Club, is finally making its way to 4K. Does it get an A+, or does it just get a failing grade? What is going on, everybody? Tom Chattelbash here, and if you love 4K Blu-ray and just physical media in general, then rest assured you are in the right place. And without further ado, let's review the new 4K disc of The Breakfast Club from Criterion. Now, The Breakfast Club is one of my favorite films. I grew up watching this movie countless times. It was a movie that kind of hit me at the perfect time while I was growing up, especially as I was going through high school and kind of reaching that age where hormones were flying and I had all this anger and sadness and frustration, and somehow this movie was able to feel like this catharsis for me in a lot of ways. And so I connected with it very easily. And over the years, even though some of it hasn't exactly aged all that well, I still think this is a great film and one of John Hughes' best. And so when I heard that it was coming to 4K finally, this has been on my 4K wish list for quite a long time. I was really excited, especially since it was coming to us from Criterion, who had previously done a Blu-ray that actually had a 4K restoration that was used for that Blu-ray transfer. So I've got here the Criterion 4K disc of The Breakfast Club. It's got nice, simple packaging, and inside, you've got a little booklet, and also you've got your 4K disc, and also you have your Blu-ray. And on this 4K transfer, we get a Dolby Vision upgrade, and we also get a 5.1 audio track, so no Atmos track, thankfully. If this movie got an Atmos track, I would have zero idea what they would do with that. Now, first and foremost, let's talk about the video quality here. So like I said, this comes to us with Dolby Vision, and I would say from the opening sequence alone, you definitely get a nice bit of color boost here, where it just feels like everything pops a lot better, especially John Bender's locker, the red, really leaps off of the screen. And just the colors in general definitely get an uptick here. They're definitely far more vibrant than they were on previous releases, and so that was a really nice upgrade there. Now, in terms of the overall clarity uptick, I have to say, this disc is a little bit underwhelming in terms of its visuals. I would even go as far as to say that if you have the Criterion Blu-ray, which like I said, they did a 4K digital restoration and used that for their Blu-ray transfer, honestly, just keep that. I really don't think this 4K disc is any sort of massive improvement that is worth double dipping. I just kind of think it's fine. I think there are occasional shots that look very nice, that have some nice detail there. I do think the film grain looks really healthy and it's really resolved well here. It's consistent, it's not overbearing. I think it's really well handled here. I think the overall environments and the textures of clothing and whatnot, I think those get a nice boost in clarity and boost in color. But in terms of just like that improvement that you want in the clarity department, I just feel like I didn't really get it here. Oftentimes, I thought to myself, I feel like I'm just watching an HD version of this film. In fact, I actually double-checked my case to make sure I didn't grab the Blu-ray disc by accident. I thought this film could have looked a lot better on disc, and I'm pretty underwhelmed. I just kind of feel like it's just a very okay image. And in terms of the audio, we get a 5.1 track here. There was no need for Atmos. Thank God they didn't go down that road. And I feel like this is, this is a very dialogue-heavy film, and I feel like all of the dialogue is very clear and crisp, and it definitely feels warm as well. I mean, there's not a ton of surround activity, nor should there be for a movie like this, but, occasionally when there's some more bombastic sequences, if you want to say that, or, more action-heavy sequences where their music kicks in, or the group is getting into some heated arguments, I feel like sometimes in those cases, the surrounds are used a little bit, but like I said, this is a very front-heavy mix, and that's fine. So in the end, I think The Breakfast Club in 4K, I think if you're a massive fan of this film, I still don't think it is worth double dipping, especially if you have that Criterion Blu-ray. Keep that. You don't need this disc. I mean, I just feel like it could have looked a lot better. I was hoping for a lot better, especially since I think Ferris Bueller looked incredible in 4K, which is another John Hughes film, and I feel like this could have easily gotten similar treatment, but I was left with a very underwhelming image, and I don't know, I just feel like I expect a little bit more from Criterion, but I don't know, maybe I'm in the minority on this one, maybe I'm on an island, but so be it. So that's my take on this new 4K disc of The Breakfast Club. If you've checked it out, let me know in the comments what you thought of it, and if you haven't picked it up, are you going to pick it up now? Are you gonna be thinking to yourself, okay, maybe I shouldn't? Let me know down below. And until next time, everybody, I'm Tom Chattelbash, YouTube's most reliable movie critic.